Now, while Strain is working to get a better deal for crop insurance here in Louisiana and in Washington, U.S. Senator Mary Landrieu has recently secured $800 million in ag disaster relief funding in President Barack Obama's economic stimulus package that's now being debated on the Senate floor. The language in the bill would help producers who couldn't get the crop insurance coverage they needed before the storm. To find out more about that, here's This Week in Louisiana Agriculture's A.J. Sabine.
Ray Schechtsteiner forks over a couple of 100 pounds of deer corn for a customer at his place in Irwinville. Schechtsteiner produces grain and sugar over 3,200 acres in Point-Coupee Parish. He was devastated last year by Hurricane Gustav. He welcomes the news of a possible $800 million coming out of the president's proposed economic stimulus package. What he would really like, though, is a crop insurance program that he and many others could afford.
If we could buy something just like your car insurance or homeowner's insurance, you put a value on it and you insure it for that much. I think would be something that, and then the more claims you have, well, the higher your rate would be.
Problem is, the current crop insurance programs don't meet the gap between disaster provisions in the current Farm Bill and the cost of adequate crop insurance coverage. The Supplemental Revenue Enhancement Program, or SURE, written into the Farm Bill, doesn't really help out producers in Louisiana catastrophically impacted by the storm.
We had great crops going into the storm. However, some were harvested, some were totally annihilated, just depended on where you are. This type of program looks at things, everything on your farm in aggregate, to where you may have lost your biggest, most expensive crop, but harvested other things to where it doesn't pencil out to provide any additional assistance.
If the bill makes it to the president with the current language intact, the $800 million in ag relief would allow farmers like Schechtsteiner to retroactively qualify for the SURE program. About half of the producers impacted by the storms did not qualify for SURE payments. McCann says the one-time measure would ultimately help producers.
Hopefully, with the changes that she's proposing to make to that for this one-time transitional disaster type program, will provide some additional assistance or needed assistance to our growers.
Back at Ray's, another customer is being helped with a pallet of grain. But Ray doesn't think he'll see any real help coming from Washington.
Most times when there's a project like this, we don't see enough benefit. There's so many hoops you have to jump through and regulation, it's not really worth our trouble.
No word yet as to how the measure will fare during the Senate debate. For This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, I'm A.J. Sabine.
The debate on the $884 billion economic stimulus bill is expected to last a few more weeks. Senator Mary Landrieu recently voted against a plan that would have added $24 billion in expenditures to develop infrastructure.